The whole thing kicks off when a religious expert tries to test Jesus with, what he thinks is the ultimate trick question. How do I get eternal life? He's not really looking for an answer. He's looking for a checklist, a formula.
And what's so interesting is that Jesus just flips the question right back at him. And the expert, he gives the perfect textbook answer. Love God and love your neighbor. You'd think, okay, conversation over, right? But not quite.
See, this is where it gets real. He's looking for a loophole. He's basically asking, okay, who's in my circle that I have to love? And more importantly, who's out? He wants a clear boundary. And that's when Jesus, instead of just giving him a definition, tells him a story.
So Jesus sets the scene on this notoriously dangerous stretch of road, the winding, kind of desolate 17-mile path from Jerusalem down to Jericho. This was a place where everybody knew you had to be on your guard.
And just as you might expect on a road like that, a traveler gets ambushed. And we're not talking about a simple mugging. He is brutally beaten, stripped of literally everything, and just left completely helpless on the side of the road, basically left for dead.
Okay, so the scene is set for a hero to show up. And the first people to come along are exactly the ones you'd expect to help. I mean, these are respected religious leaders.
The first person on the scene is a priest. Now, this is a big deal. He's a pillar of the community, someone whose entire life is supposed to be about serving God and other people. He sees the man in desperate need.
But his reaction is, well, it's shocking. He sees the guy. And instead of helping, he makes a very deliberate choice to cross over to the other side of the road to avoid him. Now why? Who knows? Maybe he was scared, maybe he was worried about some ritual purity rule, but whatever the excuse, he just kept on walking.
So next up is a Levite, another religious official who helped out at the temple. And you're thinking, okay, surely this guy will stop. This is his chance. But nope. He sees the man and he does the exact same thing as the priest, crosses the road, and just keeps on going. So you see this huge gap between what you'd expect and what actually happens. The two people who are, socially and religiously supposed to show mercy did the absolute opposite. Their titles meant nothing when someone was actually in need. But then a third traveler shows up, and this is where the story takes a turn that nobody in the original audience would have seen coming. The person who stops was the absolute last person anyone would have expected to be the hero.
This traveler was a Samaritan. And to really get how shocking this is, you got to understand that for the Jewish audience hearing this story, Samaritans were the enemy. There was this deep, historical hatred between the two groups. They were people you were supposed to avoid at all costs.
But this Samaritan, he doesn't act like an enemy. He doesn't see a Jew, he just sees a human being in agony. And his immediate gut reaction isn't avoidance, it isn't judgment, it's deep compassion. And this compassion isn't just a feeling, it's all about action. He gets his hands dirty, cleaning the man's wounds with his own supplies. Then he puts the injured man on his own animal, which means the Samaritan now has to walk. But he doesn't stop there. He takes him to an inn, pays for his care right then and there, and then tells the innkeeper, hey, whatever else he needs, put it on my tab, I'll cover it. So now Jesus brings the story home. He's told his story, and he turns that original question completely on its head.
And just look at how he reframes it. The expert asked, who is my neighbor? But Jesus asked, who acted like a neighbor? See that switch? It's brilliant. The expert wanted a category of people to help. Jesus gives him a category of action. He shifts the whole debate from identity to behavior.
The expert is totally cornered. He can't even bring himself to say the word Samaritan. But the answer is obvious. The neighbor was, as he puts it, the one who showed mercy.
So the whole point of the story is this. Being a neighbor has nothing to do with your social status or your religion. It's about seeing a need and actually doing something about it. With compassion, even and maybe especially when it's inconvenient, when it's costly, or when it's for someone you're not supposed to care about. But Jesus doesn't just let the guy off the hook with a good story. He ends with a direct personal command. This isn't just a tale to be admired, it's a call to action. With just 4 simple words, go and do likewise, Jesus turns the story into a mirror. He's telling the expert and all of us to stop trying to define who's worthy of our love and just start acting like the Samaritan, the outcast who showed everyone what true compassion really looks like.
So what does doing likewise mean for us today? Well, it means loving the people outside our comfortable circles. It means looking past all the political and social labels that we use to divide ourselves, and it means choosing to act when it would be so much easier to just cross to the other side of the road.
And that leaves all of us with one final, very personal question. That Jericho Road, it isn't just some dusty path in an ancient story. It's the street we live on, the office we work in, the social media feed we scroll through every day. The real question is, who is beaten and broken on your path today, and are you going to be the one to cross the road and help?
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share.